This is 93.5 CHMR FM.
You're listening to Transparency with your host, me, Steve Finn. Tonight we have in the studio the Do Good Badlies from Lindsay, Ontario. Hiya folks, it's Steve Finn coming at you with another edition of Transparency here on CHMR 93.5. We got an awesome episode for you. This is show number 6, and it's a doozy today. We have the entire group that is the Do Good Badlies. We have all 4 members. Well, technically there's 5 members, but we have 4 today. We have in the studio Daniel Greer, Jonathan Greer, Jamie Robinson, and Cassie Noble. We do not have their other drummer, Steve Jackett, but a shout out to that guy because he is awesome. So we're going to be talking with them about their new CD, Electric Nights. They're here in St. John's on an East Coast tour. So, like I said, they're from Lindsay, Ontario, so it's a real treat to be able to have them here live in the studio before they leave on that ferry tomorrow. So we're going to get started by hearing a track. This is one of the singles from the new album, Electric Nights. It's called Atlantic Ocean, and it's a good one. So listen in, folks. Here's the first track here on Transparency. All right, that was Atlantic Ocean by the Do Good Badlies here on Transparency with Steve Finn here on CHMR FM. And now that we've heard a track, let's meet the band. Hi guys, how you doing?
We're good, Steve. How are you?
Hi, Steve.
All right, this is going to be a lot of fun. I have not had the most I've had on the show was 2 people at once. So 4 guests at one time. This is new ground for me. So maybe the best thing to do is we'll go around the table and you can all introduce yourselves so we can recognize the voices. Maybe we'll start with you, Cassie.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
I'm John, and I'm an alcoholic.
Mr. Daniel Greer.
Jamie Robinson.
That's right. We got 4 members. These are all 4 members that are on tour. We are missing one. Maybe we should give an honorable mention to your other drummer, Steve Jackett.
Yeah, Steve, he played on quite a few of the tracks on the record, and not just on the drums. So mostly he's been a drummer that's played with us for a long time, but he was very involved in the songwriting, some of the backup vocals, like
The broom.
He played a broom.
You played a
song?
broom? Like an ugly stick?
No, like a broom.
Broom.
Okay.
A broom on a concrete floor, you know.
Just making squeaky sounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Wicked. Well, Jamie, you're the drummer on this tour.
Correct.
So I guess Steve is more like the home drummer, does the gigs that are local, or how does it work? How do you split that up between you?
Most of the out of town stuff and tours I look after. He's getting on in age and has a lot more responsibilities than I do.
Gotcha.
But
It
we
is-
split it up pretty even when we're at home. Like, they both do a lot of gigs with us in the home market, so.
Right on. So you're back here at St. John's. This is not your first time. You've been here, 3 times now, is it?
This is our 3rd time.
3rd time for most of you. Cassie, you're relatively new to the band the last couple of years, right?
Yes.
So this is your first time in Newfoundland.
It is my first time, and I have yet to be screeched in, and I don't know if I want to be or not.
Oh, it's worth it. It sounds a little gross, mostly because screech. It's not the tastiest rum you can get, but
The 10 Mississippis on the cod was a little much too, but
you're right. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. What, 10 seconds on the cod?
that's what they made us do.
Oh, gross.
I don't know if that's the traditional method, but
Right.
No, I think those were just mean girls.
Would have been fun to do here in the studio, but there's no food and drink allowed in here. So that canceled out the rum and the cod. So let's talk about this new CD for a little bit. It's Electric Nights. How many CDs what number is this? How many CDs have you put out so far?
Well, that's arguable, Steve.
like
That's
everything.
That's going to be our answer to every question.
It's arguable. Okay. But if you were to estimate.
I guess in theory 7.
Okay.
But it's the debut album as the Do Good Badlies under our new name, so.
And my first album as well.
Right.
So we're kind of looking at this one as a new beginning. So we're trying to promote it as such, because over the years the band has morphed so much. Even though it's always been John, my brother, and myself,
Right.
Dan. But there's been so much change in the band otherwise, in the genre that we play, in the members that have been with us. It's been a progression, but this new record really is something quite a bit different.
Fair enough. And it certainly is. I've been watching you guys for years now, and this new record it's a bit of a departure. It's still straight up rock and roll, which you guys do best. But yeah, it's a great little record, and it was produced by Derek Edwards.
Yes, a mutual friend of ours.
A mutual friend of ours. I've known this guy for a while. He's done some really great work on it. What was it like working with that guy?
Oh, awesome. He really brought out the best in us.
He really knows his stuff, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the work that he put into it too, like he was so, I guess he had the personal connection with us really helped, because he really was dedicated to making it sound as good as possible, put a lot of his own time into it.
Right.
Though he is a different character once it gets to be like 4 a.m.
Yeah, he's a bit tricky to deal with sometimes.
He gets a little
It's
loopy.
time to slow down.
So, yeah, and on keys, he's not a member of the band, but Joel Dalton played keys on this, who's another mutual friend of
Yes.
ours. Those, him and Derek are from Duck Duck Goose, I believe,
Yes.
which is another great band. So you guys are pretty much keeping it in the family.
Well, what was The timing of it worked out that Duck Duck Goose has split up.
Right.
And
Unfortunately.
yeah, they were a great band. I imagine you can still go online and listen to them if you would like to experience Duck Duck Goose for yourself. But it just worked out that the timing was that they had some extra time on their hands to work with us, so it gave Derek a lot of extra time to really put his full commitment into our album. And also having Joel play keys was awesome. He added some life to those songs, and now we got to figure out how to do that live.
Right.
It was my favorite was at the end of the album. There's like a 30-second just keyboard thing. I'm thinking live. Maybe I just go. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, you gotta make some adjustments from studio to live sometimes. So you're here. I saw you while you were here on your tour, and I got to say I was impressed by the amount of equipment you're dragging along with you. It's not just your instruments, your guitars and your drums, but you also got a whole lighting system that you've set up.
Yeah, the disco light.
The disco light. The strobe.
We don't. When we tour, we don't just play in the cities and in the venues that a lot of touring bands would play. We do a lot of make your own venues too, like play in the small towns. We play places where there's not necessarily a setup for the band.
Okay.
We try to get into these other markets, so we carry with us a full PA system. We have our own lights. We have everything in our van to put on a full show.
So you don't have to rely on anyone.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is important, because one thing we've learned over the years is that you can't rely on anybody but yourself. Right?
No.
So.
Like, Jamie, I'm sure you've been in a situation where a venue will be like, yeah, we got a great house kit. Come on in and use it. And it's just like a beat-up piece of crap. I mean...
Oh, yeah, or it's not even there.
Or the one you had last night. Luckily, at Distortion, he was just given... they just bought a new skin. What the skin looked like that you took off?
Yeah, the old bass drum skin had a pretty decent hole in it, so Glenn there at Distortion had a new one for us, so everything worked out great.
It was a piece of cardboard and a whole bunch of tape. That was the skin.
But he pulled through for you. You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn's a great guy. Shout out to him over at Distortion.
Oh yeah.
So now, as we mentioned, Do Good Badlies is a fairly new name for you. It's kind of a weird story because you guys were the DGB, and I think that originally stood for Daniel Greer Band back in the day.
That is correct, Mr. Finn.
And then, John and the other guys, it's not just about Dan, so I guess you decided to do away with any meeting, leading to my favorite tagline for any band, the DGB don't stand for nothing.
And that was a marketing disaster. So,
oh, was it?
No one would let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually had people just about punch us out because we wouldn't tell them what the DGB stood for. We're like, no, it doesn't mean anything. And they're just like, it has to mean something.
Am I giving away sensitive information? Admitting that it used to mean Daniel Greer Band?
No, it's all good now.
It's all good now.
What I don't understand about it, and I don't understand why it was so difficult for us, because, I don't know, I know what REM stands for, but, when you think REM, is that the first thing that comes to your mind? I wonder what REM stands for. GBH, MXPX, there's a ton of bands. I never gave a darn what their name stood for. Why does everybody have to give us such a hard time about it?
That is a good point. I don't know. But
anyway, we decided we needed a concrete name.
Right. So this is like a backronym, I think they call it. When you take letters and make an acronym out of it. A backronym, yes. And I believe you guys held a contest, is that right?
That's right.
Right on. So you left it to your fans to figure out a name for you. Who was the winner?
His Facebook name is Germ Man.
Germ Man, that's all you know?
He's from Montreal. Just outside of Montreal. So it was neat for us. We've done a lot of traveling over the years. So the fact that the winning response, that it came from somewhere outside of our home realm, right? It didn't come from Toronto or from Lindsay. It came from Montreal, which is somewhere where we travel to quite a bit. But it's neat to know that people were paying attention all over the country. And we got responses from everywhere, and most of them were god-awful.
Really?
The DGB does not stand for very many good things. Play around with those words, and you just find lots of bad words start with those letters.
Right. Non-marketable words. Were there any good runner-ups besides Do Good Badlies? Or was it really obvious that was the winner?
It was really obvious. There wasn't anything else.
I think the most common one was Damn Good Band, but that
Damn
just
Good
seemed
Band.
way too cocky.
I wasn't personally worried about the cockiness aspect.
You'll have people with, like... There's built-in judgment if you call yourselves a damn good band. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's see what you got, damn
High
good band.
Yeah, you better be good.
So do Good Badlies is a little bit better for lower expectations.
Right.
It really suits us.
Yeah.
I think it does. So, there's been a lot of merchandise I've noticed put out since the name change. I just bought a couple of shot glasses off you guys at your show. And we immediately took shots from them, and they tasted even better than regular shots. Something about that glass.
It's the radiation. The shot glasses are neon.
That's how they got neon.
Backstory.
Okay. But that's something I've always noticed about you guys is that you're really prolific with making merchandise and selling stuff. Is that an important part of being in a band to you guys?
Well, I think, for us, the priority is always in the music, of course, but
Right.
it's a way to get your name out there. You can have people walk around with your T-shirt on or shot glasses that show their friends, oh, hey, I got this shot glass. Just start conversation, right?
Right.
And it really is. It is a neat feeling. Like, everybody enjoys the small things when you're traveling and you come back to somewhere like St. John's, where we haven't been here in, I guess, 3 years, right? I think it was the last time we were here.
Oh, yeah.
And then to see, a couple people around town wearing our shirts still when they're coming out to our shows and they've seen us last time. Like, it's a neat feeling to know that people saw you before and they bought the shirt and they remember you and still wear the shirt. And it also really helps, like when you're traveling, Canada's a big country, a lot of clicks between gigs. Like any extra way to make a few dollars gas money, you really need to have that too.
Fair enough. Okay. So we've heard a track from your CD, but I think it'd be great if we could hear a live performance, if that's possible, guys.
Well, we just happened to bring a couple acoustic guitars in here, Steve, so
Whoa,
what a
we might be able to
fool.
make this happen.
I never noticed those.
So weird.
Well, I'm glad I asked, because you're just by chance prepared to do so. So what are we going to hear? What's the song you're going to do?
The song is called Morning Light.
I was just making sure my guitar is still in tune because I dropped it on the floor.
And this is a track that's available on Electric Nights.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm ready. Here's half of the Do Good Badlies. Looks like it's going to be Cassie and John on this.
I think the other guys are going to chime in a little bit when they can.
Okay.
We'll make it a group effort.
It's a group effort. Here's the Do Good Badlies with Morning Light.
Want to count us in there, Jamie? Give me a guitar and an open fire, handful of people to amuse. And usually I'd sing the blues, but now I've got a different point of view. Crack a beer, crack a joke, play a song to make a move. 'Cause rock and roll is ageless tunes, and laughter's more contagious than the flu. And when the music goes all night, you're sure to find your soul in the morning light.
our song. La 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 la. When the music goes all night, you're sure to find your soul in the morning light. When the music goes all night, you're sure to find your soul in the morning light. When the music goes right through the night till the lights go out, the sun gets bright, and the simplest things can amuse our minds in the morning light.
Like some fool playing their guitar, strumming just a single chord.
Or a group of people singing. Whoa! Want to help us out there, Stevie? Whoa! 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 You're sure to find your soul in the morning light.
To be a mentor, you don't have to have some special talent. That's why we're having some real-life mentors sing for us. Hit it, guys.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Thanks, that was awful. So remember, to mentor a child, you don't have to be perfect.
Row, row, row your...
Please stop. You just have to call Save the Children toll-free at 1-877-BA-MENTOR.
A message brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Chris Picco from the Long Distance Runners, and you're listening to CHMR 93.5 FM.
All right, we are back. That was the Do Good Badlies with Morning Light, performed live in the studio. That was great, guys. Thanks for doing that for us.
Hey, thanks, Steve.
Right on, right on. So, you guys are just finishing up in this little town of St. John's. Where is it off to next? What's the next leg of the tour?
Well, I mean, that depends when it airs, Steve.
That's arguable, Steve.
Okay, pretend it's Tuesday, 8 p.m.
So if it's Tuesday at 8 p.m., we're currently in Halifax.
Okay.
And,
wow, what a magic trick. You're here and in Halifax at the same time.
This is, yes, we are quite magical.
Okay.
We're playing through the Maritimes on our way home. So we're in Halifax, and then Moncton, Charlottetown, and Plaster Rock, where we've got some family.
Okay.
So it's a little tiny one of those little off-the-map places that the DGB likes to hit from time to time.
Right on.
And then straight home down the highway.
Straight on down the highway. Yeah, I was looking at the schedule there. Looks like you got a show in Lindsay when you get back, which is where your guys are from. Yep. Based out of anyway. I think a couple of you live in Bowmanville, right?
Just Dan.
Just Dan.
He's always got to be different.
Yes. But I believe in the town of Lindsay you have kind of like a residency, you could say, in a bar there. I'm not sure of the name of the bar. Where is it?
It's a place called the Coach and Horses, and we do every Tuesday night there. So we do a full night's entertainment. From time to time we bring in touring acts and stuff like that. So it's something nice for the town because there's not a lot that goes on otherwise. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we've recently hosted. We've actually been lucky to have. We had Hogarth and the Skyvines there, and Isle of Ease there. We've had some St. John's talent come through.
Love those guys.
It's nice to be able to offer that to other traveling musicians, give them a place to play.
That's great. And this gig being so regular on every Tuesday, it's probably a great outlet for trying out new stuff, new songs you've written.
Yeah, a lot of bands I hear, they practice without getting paid.
They practice without getting paid, right?
We didn't want to do that.
Oh my god.
So this is like your.
So we got some guinea pigs at home, I guess you could say, but we try to rehearse stuff before we play it there. Still.
Yeah.
But we definitely work at the kinks a lot of the time. It's always nice to be able to do that in front of a live audience because it really forces you to tighten up.
Gotcha.
The areas that you need to because it's embarrassing to screw up in front of people.
Oh yes. You're talking to a guy who is scared to death of screwing up. I'm a drummer as well. We've actually played on the same bill a couple of times, haven't we?
I'm not willing to admit that, Steve.
Oh, that's probably your best bet. But we, I remember playing. Did we? We played a New Year's Eve show one time. My band, Another City, and you guys.
I don't remember that, Steve.
You don't remember that? Well, maybe I'll just edit this conversation out completely.
Where was the gig?
It was at Rancho Relaxo, which just closed down, actually.
Last Saturday night.
Yes. We should at least give a shout out to the former Rancho Relaxo, which is kind of like the CBGBs of Toronto in a way. That's how I describe it.
We had a really great community of musicians that hung out there, and we're gonna miss that place. But life goes on. There will be new bars, and
there will be new bars.
And the
but you think
we're still the same, right?
So you think we played together on New Year's? I'm not actually sure on that, but I do believe you.
You believe me? I'll look it up during the next song, and we'll see who's right.
Fact checking, yeah. I don't know.
We'll do
New
some
Year's can get foggy, you know. It's.
Yes, I remember there was champagne. That's one of the last things I remember. There was champagne, and then what? I'm home. What happened? Anyway, so maybe we should talk to Cassie a little bit because, like I said, you're the new member. It's your first time at St. John's, and you've been with the band 3 years, I believe.
Roughly 3 years, yes.
Okay. So how has the band changed since you've shown up, you think?
That's a little tricky for me to say because I've been in it.
You don't know
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think it's changed quite a bit, and I don't really.
What do you think, guys? How is having Cassie in the band changed it for you? Because obviously you guys got a frame of reference here.
Yeah.
Being in the band before she was.
The dishes in the van are cleaner.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are. You weren't lying when you said you were self-sufficient because you even bring your own glassware and dishes on tour with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a stove and a
got a
pan,
drawer,
and
cutlery.
the whole
In there.
works.
Yeah, cutting board.
We got a kettle and our coffee, you know. And
Why haven't you invited me to dinner in your van?
You don't want.
What are you doing tonight, Steve?
I know what I'm doing now. Having dinner at Casa Do Good Badlies.
It has it's added a whole new element to the band, though. Having Cassie perform with us, I think it's made all of us improve because she's added a lot of harmonies into a lot of our songs. But I think it's also made the rest of us harmonize more, just to think more about the vocal elements in songs. If you listen to some of our previous albums, I think you'll find there's a lot more stuff where there's just one main vocal line. And when you listen to this new album, every song has harmonies in it somewhere. There's a lot of different vocal lines going on. Mm-hmm. And we try to utilize the three of us and even the five of us from time to time, get everybody's voice in there.
Okay.
It's also, I had a really good thing I was going to say.
Oh, you forgot it.
Something good. It's not easy to think of good things about Cassie.
Oh.
I'm joking, of course.
Feel the love.
I think it makes us a little bit more relatable too with a wider audience, right? Like instead of just a group of dudes.
Right.
It's less of a sausage party now.
Yeah.
Well,
We've got girl power now.
Yeah, girl power going for
but I do think we have a tendency, like, especially when the three of us would spend so much time together and travel around, like, we joke around a lot, and probably sometimes we would come across as, like, these, can you say the D word that you would say before guys? Is that a radio word?
Let's just say it, and if I have to, I'll beep it out.
Like that we might look like a bunch of douchey dudes joking around, and having Cassie there kind of balances out. Like, now that we can still be ourselves and idiots, and then Cassie kind of makes us look like maybe we're okay still.
Right. That would have been a good idea for a backronym for DGB, dudes and a girl in a band.
Oh my gosh.
But aside from being in the band musically, Cassie, you're also a visual artist.
Yes, I am.
And you're also contributing to this band with that skill set you have. You've done the design on this new CD, Electric Nights. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did the cover art for the front and the back. John put it all together and did the digital stuff.
The digital stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of painting and all that, there's a theme of color and paint in this video you did for Atlantic Ocean, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it. Who directed that film for you?
John basically directed it.
Yeah.
More or less. It's hard to direct when you're acting in it as well, but
you did.
And we had Ageless Photography was there, our friend Evan, and he filmed it and helped a lot with how we were acting things out, but the concept of it was all John's, so he more or less directed it.
Okay, very good. And how long was the shoot?
So in the video, there's two separate scenes in the video. There's the ocean scene and then there's the painting scene.
Right.
So the ocean scene, we actually made sure we talked about just doing it on Lake Ontario, but we decided that it had to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got in the van and drove to New Brunswick, which was the closest spot we could get to the Atlantic Ocean, and shot it there. We had a gig too. We didn't just drive for the ocean. Cassie's glaring at me. She's like, "You're lying. You're lying."
I don't like dishonesty.
Yeah, we had some gigs, so we were out there, and we were really in a rush. We almost didn't have time to shoot the ocean scene because we were getting late getting to our next gig, as I remember. So we had about 10 minutes to stop at the ocean and film this scene.
Oh, wow.
And
I did it in bare feet, and it was November, and the water was so cold.
So cold.
But then,
now that's acting like you're not freezing to death.
Yeah, making it look like it's summer, even though it's freezing.
Big toques and sweaters.
And then the other stuff, I gotta admit, when John gave me the concept, I didn't think we were going to be able to pull it off. He says, we're going to wear all white, and we're going to paint, and we're going to make a picture at the end of it. And I'm like, so we're all going to get together and somehow create a painting.
Right. Did you guys agree beforehand what you were going to try to paint, or are y'all painting different things?
Yeah,
I want a bicycle. No, I want a fire truck.
Well, some of us might have got a little creatively carried away at times, but
Stevie.
there was a concept to begin with.
Yeah. Stevie was there. That was interesting to see because I'm used to seeing 4 of you on stage. Well, 3 of you before Cassie, and then 4. But all 5 of you were in that video. And it made me wonder, have you guys played many shows where you've had both drummers performing at once? Or?
We've done it on special occasions from time to time. We don't do it very often.
Right.
We were experimenting with that. A couple tracks on some of our older albums, we actually did it on the album where we set up 2 drum kits. But mostly we don't do that, but we are looking into... There's other ways to incorporate them. It's really neat when we get the 5 of us together in a room.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us, to some degree, are multi-instrumentalists. So I would see us doing more in the future, especially when we're doing our record release shows and stuff like that. Because technically this record isn't technically out yet. This is like the advanced version of it.
Okay.
But it's coming soon. We're waiting on a vinyl right now to go with the CD.
Very good. Yes, I noticed
Not
my
to go
copy
with it,
here.
I'm getting a... Cassie's glaring at me again. The CD does not come with the vinyl.
It does not. That's extra. Batteries not included.
But anyway, the point being is that we, from time to time, the five of us do get together and all play.
Right.
And I would like us to do more of that because the five of us really do click together well.
That's great. Is it a challenge having two different drummers? Does that change the dynamic at all? Having Jamie playing with you as opposed to Steve, or vice versa?
For sure. Yeah, it's certainly a challenge at times. Like, you get used to doing things one way, and then, you know, like each of them have their own interpretation, right? And
Right.
they're both great drummers, and they both add a lot, but it can be confusing sometimes when you do like one gig one night with one of them, and then the next night you'll play a gig with the other one, and it just kind of throws you off sometimes. But I think we've kind of worked it out now that we've been doing it for so long. It's definitely gotten better.
It adds a interesting little conversation piece when people talk about it. Like, I've had this conversation with people before. It's like, oh man, have you heard the Do Good Badlies before? Yeah, they're great. Well, which drummer did you see them with? Oh, you guys see him with the other drummer too. And it's like kind of like a reason to go see you guys again. Well,
it's like releasing an album with 4 different covers. You know, it's like, oh, you got to buy all 4.
Yeah,
collect them all.
Remember when Korn did that?
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but
You don't want to talk about how big of an influence Korn has been on us?
remember when Kiss they decided to each release a solo album, and it was just like a picture of each of their faces in the Kiss makeup. And it's like, buy all 4 CDs at once.
Play them together at the same time.
Only one of these CDs is good. But buy all 4 so you can put them together in the little square they want you to. But anyway, before this current tour, I think recently you guys were divided, gone your separate ways for a while. I think Cassie and John, you went on a tour. Dan, you went on a tour solo.
Yes.
And now you're all back together as a band. But how was it doing your own thing for a while?
It was a lot of fun. I've never been out west before, so John and I went out west because we weren't going to do it as a band.
Right.
So it was kind of a vacation, but it was also a tour. We did some shows acoustic. It was honestly really nice to just be able to set up 2 guitars and not our, you said how much gear we have. It was nice to not lug that around.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. We were able to travel in a little hatchback, and
just
we had our bed made in the back, and our 2 guitars, and a bag each, and
right on.
Yeah, easy and a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful country, so it was really nice.
So you didn't use that big white van I saw you pull up in
No.
outside? Okay.
Just a little tiny Chevy.
Right on. And Dan, you were out there touring on your own.
Right.
Just you and a guitar?
That is correct.
Right on.
So I flew in. We do have some family out there. So I wanted to visit my family, and I actually flew out with my mother. Just the 2 of us flew out. And I booked some shows while I was out there.
Okay.
Rented a vehicle, rented a guitar, and just did it that way, as opposed to bringing a bunch of stuff with me. And I really enjoyed it as much as I like playing with these guys. It's really fun to do something different and get a little bit of space sometimes.
Right. Are you playing Do Good Badlies material when you're, or do you have like solo stuff that you do on your own that's separate from the band?
Mostly, I'm still promoting the band. Like, I haven't put out a solo album in a long time. But as for what I perform, I'm mostly performing different stuff, either new songs that might become Do Good Badlies songs, or I do some DGB songs, but mostly different stuff.
Different stuff. And would that be the same case for John and Cassie, you guys?
Basically.
Probably about half and half for
Yeah.
us. We definitely have some songs. Like Cassie was a solo artist before she joined the band, so she's got some songs in the back burner that we don't get a chance to do. So we pulled out some of those and just some random stuff and
Right.
Some different covers.
But at this point, I mean, you guys have been at it for a while, and your repertoire of potential songs to put in this set list is probably really big right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think I
It's a
saw
very long
Dan
list.
working on one at your show at Bar None, and it was like 4 columns.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like tiny print, but the page was filled with song titles.
And they're all like separately organized because, you know, Dan on guitar, John on guitar, whoever on bass.
Right.
We all switch around, so it makes it a little bit complicated.
Yeah,
sometimes.
and that's something I should mention about you guys is that you, like you said, you're multi-instrumentalist, so it's not uncommon for you guys to just trade up instruments.
Yeah.
In the middle of the set.
A few times, usually.
But it seems there's a method to your madness. Like you'll play like 3 or 4 songs in a row with John on bass and Dan on guitar, and then another 4 where it's the opposite.
Yep.
So you guys kind of have a method to making it work on stage with the
For
passing.
sure. We can't just be switching around every song because it gets to be too much dead air, right?
That'll be half your show just.
Well, eventually there'll be people to do that for us, but in the meantime,
for sure, you'll have your text,
stage text.
Yeah.
Right on, right on.
Powder our faces, hand us a different guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for another little ditty live in the studio from the Do Good Badlies, our guest tonight here on Transparency. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe you could play one of my personal favorites, "Bless Your Heart" off the new album Electric Nights.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, we could do that.
If you would. I'm only asking.
Damn the way that you looked at me, that turned me into glass, swept me off my feet. Damn the way I believe. Bless your heart. Damn the way that you looked at them. Damn the way they looked back like they had already had you. And you had your way with them. Bless your heart. Damn the way that you didn't speak when I opened up and told you just the way I feel. Damn the way that feels. Damn the way I still hold this grudge. Damn the way I still think about it so damn much since you left me in the dust. Bless your heart. I'm bitter to the end, but in the end it's just a game we all play. The rules always change. So put it in the past, cause the time is moving so fast. Sing for tomorrow, today should never last. Damn this town, it's making me feel old. And damn this place, I hesitate to call home. Damn the way things go. Damn the way I still hate my job. Damn the way I can't just appreciate what I've got. Damn that which never stops. Bless your heart. I'm bitter to the end, but in the end it's just a game we all play. The rules always change. So put it in the past, cause the time is moving so fast. Sing for tomorrow, today should never last.
Tune in to 93.5 CHMR FM every Sunday at 10 a.m. for your perfect prescription of medicinal music lovingly mixed to ease the most wretched of post-Saturday night overindulgences. It's the Sunday Morning Hangover Cure, every Sunday, 10 a.m. and only on 93.5 CHMR FM.
Daybreak Healthy Baby Club is a free support group for pregnant youth ages 21 and under. Information on pregnancy is provided and discussed along with a meal and a nutritional supplement certificate. The group takes place weekly on Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Thursday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Registration is required. Please call Crystal or Florence at 726-8373. This announcement has been a public service of 93.5 CHMR FM.
Hi, this is Joe from Street Corner Champs. You're listening to 93.5 FM CHMR.
Say that you love me, say that you want me.
All right, we are back. This is Steve Finn with another edition of Transparency, if you're just tuning in. Tonight in the studio we have the Do Good Badlies, who just performed Bless Your Heart off their new album, Electric Nights. So, again, welcome guys, and thanks for being here. It's great to have you here on your brief visit to St. John's.
It is great to be here, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I hope you're having fun. I'm having a blast. This CD, you mentioned it's not out yet?
We've got the advanced CDs. We've been doing a pre-sale.
A pre-sale.
So what's going on is if you go online to our website, thedgb.ca, we did a crowdfunding through Pledge Music to fund the album, and it has now been funded. So we've reached 100% of our goal. But the pre-sale is still active. So right now we're selling. You can get the CD, the vinyl, and order everything online on our website.
Right on.
And I think we've been debating about this because the vinyl is delayed right now, and we haven't made any official announcement yet. But I think we might be dropping the CDs early.
Okay.
But right now everything's available on our website.
And that website is thedgb.ca. Check it out. You can get some T-shirts, some sunglasses, any of the previous releases from the Do Good Badlies, and it's all good stuff. So this Pledge Music site, it's I'm not too familiar with it. I'm assuming it's like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, those types of crowdfunding.
Yes, it is.
More specifically geared towards music.
Right, exactly. It is. It's basically the same as Kickstarter, like that idea, but it is. They only do music, so you're not going to get like some sort of fancy cooler or anything like that on Pledge Music.
Right. So you have that advantage of anybody going to that website. They already know beforehand that they're interested in investing in music.
Right, and there's it's just the platform makes it a lot. It's all meant for music, so it just makes it really easy to post songs, post videos, everything. The way the site's all laid out is it's done really well for musicians.
Right. And, they're not always a success. You see a lot of these campaigns, they don't quite make it to their goal amount. So what kind of things did you guys do to help get that money in?
We basically exploited all of Cassie's talents. She did a lot of paintings for us that we sold on our pre-sale campaign, and we
some baking.
Right.
So
if you made a certain donation size, you would get a painting from Cassie.
That's right. So on top of we had the CD and the vinyl as obvious choices, but we had a lot of stuff that you can't get from us at our shows. So things like we have an exclusive T-shirt that we did just for this sale, and we got things like paintings by Cassie, cheesecake by Cassie.
Cheesecake?
We also recorded an entire second album that is only available to people that do the pre-sale.
Are you kidding?
So once everything is officially released, this won't be available anymore. It's a 9-track acoustic album.
Okay.
And to go with it, we did a whole series of videos. We did a video for each song. And again, it was this whole premise around this mystery box. and what's in the mystery box.
Okay. So there's a story through all the videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we made them available publicly for a limited time. And then after that, they're only viewable if you were a pledger on our campaign. And then the final installment, when you find out what's in the box, well, if you didn't buy the album, you don't get to find out what's in the box. And it drove everybody mad.
That's pretty brilliant, I must say. That would get me shelling out money, for sure.
Yeah.
Either that or just really upset with us.
Yeah. Oh man, God.
Just tell us, come on. So it reminds me of like the Disney Vault. You got like a DGB Vault. Maybe you'll release this stuff like 50 years from now on your 50th anniversary of release.
Here's the finale.
Time afterward, yeah.
I'm sure
you still care after 50 years.
Yeah, waiting so long.
our ex-wives' grandkids will make all the money off of it.
Yeah, for sure. So you've been here in Newfoundland for what, like 3 or 4 days?
Since Monday.
Since Monday. So have you?
Last Monday.
Okay. Now you weren't playing shows the entire time you were here. What did you do to fill the time since you've arrived?
Yeah, we got in last Monday morning, and we basically had a whole week, and most of it was in St. John's, which was nice for us because in the past we've done the whole island a couple of times, and it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of driving. So it was nice to actually stay put for a little bit.
Okay.
So the first day when we pulled in on the Argentia ferry, instead of heading right into St. John's, we took the southern route down and around some coves there. Where was the first place that we went?
Castle Hill.
Castle Hill.
Yeah, Castle Hill, yeah.
Very good.
We headed on down to Point Lance to a beach. It was nice. It was not very crowded.
That's one thing I got to say about those Newfoundland beaches. They're usually not very busy.
Very foggy.
No, you got all the room you need when you go down.
What do they call that? The gray tan here, right?
The gray tan. That's brilliant. I'm sporting a gray tan right now. I look great.
And obviously, we checked out a lot of the sites in St. John's. But one of the neat things we did that we would have never done if it wasn't offered to us, a friend that I work with knew somebody that does the sea kayaking.
Ah.
So we went sea kayaking, and Cassie's going to tell you all about that adventure, all the little creatures she met.
Well, I've never been kayaking before at all, so that was pretty interesting, doing it on the ocean. Yeah, they showed us like a few sea creatures and seaweeds and gave us some information. They actually picked up a sea urchin, gave us each a little sea urchin, told us to make friends with it. You know, you can carry this little buddy around on your trip if you want. And then our tour guide busts out a knife and cuts his open and starts showing us the inside and cutting it up and like passing around pieces to eat because I guess it's a delicacy. And I was just like so
After he told you to
shocked.
make friends with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give it a name. Nothing bad's going to happen to this guy.
Yeah. But it was really interesting, and it was a lot of fun, I thought.
Yeah, we didn't know we were getting sushi in the deal, too, so it was cool.
There you go, yeah.
A little bit extra.
The guy said it was about $40 worth of whatever that red stuff was that we ate.
Uni.
Yes. Nice name. All right, well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of Transparency. My name's Steve Finn. My guest tonight and the featured band was the Do Good Badlies here on tour from Lindsay, Ontario. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you for having us.
You guys have been a blast. We're going to end off the night with one more track. This is called FML, and I'm not going to tell you what that stands for because this is public radio. But it's a great track and a good way to play off the end of the night. So thanks for listening, folks. My name's Steve Finn, and this was Transparency. Have a great night.